Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Jerry.
Well, I've heard that a lot, and I'm going to tell you that there's probably a lot of truth to that, because that's usually when they get jammed up. Because when I got out of the club and was put on the sideline, I was the secretary for my chapter. My books were so clean that they couldn't do shit about it. I mean, I had every time we had a meeting, I had the bank statement, ins, outs, what we spent our chapter money on, what we did for our chapter, and it was to a T. So nobody can't tell me they couldn't do it. But other times you'd show up, hey, can I see the books? Oh man, I don't have them ready. I can't find them, and now they're all running around trying to fix it. That I kept that like a clock, and anybody saying different is bullshit. Because I handle my books, the money, the bank accounts, everything. When I got put out for my situation, for the legal situation, they had all my, and there was never a question. Oh no, look, to the penny, my money was right there. Our chapter money's right here, and we did our badass. And and again, I've never heard of any other chapters doing it like we did it, but we ran it like a business. I paid, we didn't have to pay for hotel rooms, gas, anything. Our chapter covered all that, because we'd sell T-shirts, stickers, hats, all that we would sell throughout the year. And that would pay for every run. Every member didn't have to pay to go to funerals, didn't have to pay out of his pocket for his family, just so we didn't have to take from family money. We'd pull up to the gas pump, I'd slide the card, boom, boom, get the receipt, put that in the book. All that would go to, this is where we went. And you keep it like a ledger, but that's how we ran, and it was never a problem. I'd go to the president, hey, brother, what do you want me to do here? You said you wanted the chapter pick up one dinner. What dinner do you want us to go to? He would pick, this is where we're going, slap the card, pay it, take the receipt, put it in it. As soon as we got back in town, the next meeting we had as a chapter, all the books was opened up. Here you go. Every meeting I had my wide open. Here's the bank statement. Here's our receipts. Anybody wants to question and look, because that's what happens. Money makes people funny.
So before you became the secretary, have you seen like where things are not right?
Kosher? Oh yeah. I can tell you right now, things ain't kosher. The national president got put out for it. Not the one that we have that's now, before. That's what you got to put out for it. Money missing,
And that's just wrong. Taking money for your own personal gain from the club.
That's what I'm saying. There should be no gain to you for being in the club. You join the club. If you join the club to make money, then you're in the club for the wrong reason. And at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want. It's stealing from brothers. Any way you want to cut it. I don't care if it's 50 cents or it's 50,000. It's stealing from your brother.
Yeah, this one member I was talking to, not a bandito, but he was a member of another club. He was saying that the vice president collected a certain amount of money, and he counted the money out, so he knew how much it was.
Yeah.
He put some in his pocket and said, "Tell him we made this much money."
Oh yeah, I've heard that happen a lot. Yeah, and believe me, I've seen guys get fucked up and beat up and kicked down the road, shit like that going on. But at the end of the day, you should know it. You have your meeting every week with your chapter. You should know exactly those details. That's what the meeting's for. It's to inform everybody in our chapter what we have going on and what the nation has going on.
Yeah.
But it's like they don't understand that. They want to have a meeting so we can drink beer and check out all night. Well, I like too, but we have business to conduct before we get to that's the bottom line. But that's how I was always taught. And I'm telling you straight up right now, Pee Wee told me, this is back when I was in my 20s, do not get in the fucking club. Stay where you're at. There's no gain for you. And I didn't. That's why I never did. I was always around. I went to every party. Pee Wee took me everywhere. I was in Frisco. I was in so many different places, Arizona, and always welcomed, always haven't had a problem. He goes, the only thing you can't do is go sit at that table and listen to the politics. He goes, you're not missing nothing. He goes, there's no gain for you to put a patch on, brother. He goes, you just keep being the brother you are. And me and Pee Wee ain't never changed. Never, brother. We're talking, we're dropping back 20 plus years.
And he was right?
Yeah. Never. Me and that cat's done so much together, and never. I could pick the phone up right now. He'd leave his old lady at a restaurant and come to me. He'd tell us to get an Uber. And you can ask him right to his, you can ask him, and he'll tell you. That's exactly what he would say. Get a Uber, I gotta go, and get gone. But that's the only way. That's how he's always been. That's how I was taught. You know, I don't know how to be different than that.
When you start getting involved with this club, are there any signs that you're like, damn, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing? Because I've heard about people getting their eye dotted in the Bandidos. That's a
Oh,
big thing, right?
oh yeah, yeah. You fuck around and do discipline, get your eye dotted. Lose a patch and you have to earn it back. Go back to prospecting. We had a guy that was with us. We prospected him like 4 times. I tried to just send him down the road because he wasn't worth the fuck I'm going, dude. If he ain't learned it in 4 times, this guy, Jesus, use your brains. But yeah, no, that's definitely one of the disciplines. That's 100% true.
And were there signs that maybe this isn't the place to be?
There was, and then there was, and it puts you in that frame of mind of, well, I'm a good brother. Let me see if I can change it. Let's try to get this back on track. Let's fix where the problems are. You just keep getting deeper. You know,
Yeah.
and that's what happened to me. Basically, I was with some members, and the members ended up ratting on me, and it was a personal issue. I didn't even have a patch on when I got in trouble because I knew what not to do with my patch on, and it was a personal deal, and I dealt with it in the courts. But the reason I had to go to court was because members put the finger on me.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, their reason behind me not having a patch or taking my shit away from me was they were afraid that it was going to involve the club into a case. And my answer to that was I thought we were outlaws.
Yeah.
I didn't know we couldn't be gangster. I thought that's how we lived. Fuck, my bad. I guess I read the wrong instruction book.
But let me ask you this, because there's a lot of talk about these are criminal organizations and they're only out to do bad in the community. Is that true?
As far as I can speak from my personal aspect, the organization part of it, no, because basically the banditos didn't gain anything from anything I was doing illegally. I gained, other members gained, but the actual nation never gained from what I was doing. It was my personal choice to make that move. It wasn't like I was told, hey, you need to go do this and you do that. And I've seen nobody else ever told, you need to go do this, you need to go do that. So that as a nation, they didn't make any money. Like you didn't kick money up to the Nationals because you sold some. You didn't kick it up to the Nationals because you sold a truckload of AK-47s. That's your business,
Yeah,
you
like
know?
you do this big robbery, you're gonna give
Yeah,
the members money and it
yeah,
goes up like it's the
yeah,
mob or something.
yeah. No, none of that. You breaking the law. You're doing it on your own because we were told several times, don't do nothing illegal in your cut or with your shit on. That is your personal business at your personal times, but don't involve the club. We were told that many of times. Anybody say anything
Yeah.
different is bullshit because that's not true. As far as what I know for the Bandidos, I can say that for a fact. We never kicked it up. We never gave money up. We never were told to go. You have to go do this. You need to go do this illegal deal and bring the money back. None of that. Whatever you're doing illegal and all, and believe me, it's like everybody else. You break the law because you're doing it for yourself. But it wasn't a gain for the Bandito Nation ever. They had nothing to do with it.
And there's been a big bust down there in Texas. I'm sure you're aware of it.
I heard about it. I don't know
And
too much of the details on it, but I definitely think that there's a lot of fingers. There's a lot of rats, and there's a lot of guys that ain't gonna hold water. I can tell them that much right now.
no, people are saying that one of the guys that I interviewed is gonna be that guy. I'm not sure if it's 100% true, but he was talking on the internet quite a bit and still letting a lot of things out.
That I heard the same thing, and I also heard that there's a couple of people that's still inside that they're trying to figure out that leaked a lot of information that they have no idea who it is. But I think there's been a lot of infiltration, and there's a lot of people that you wouldn't think have talked to the law or whatever and done it. But yeah, they definitely got some people that's not going to hold the water, brother. They're not going to go do 10, 15 years, 20
No.
years. No, they're going to give it up, and they're going to do whatever they got to do and sing like you ain't never heard before. They might as well call him Taylor Swift.
I mean, you've seen it. National presidents from down there cooperated, and
Yep.
they walk free with probation. Like, how is that possible?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Believe me, it's, the only reason that the Waco thing stayed like it did, because everybody held their water. I knew 90% of those guys, support and bandits that got locked up in the Waco deal. I knew personally.
How many bandidos were involved with that? Because there was a
Fuck.
lot of ugly men, right?
Yeah, there was 140 or 150 red and gold arrested, and I want to say, I think 40 of them were banditos and the rest were support, something like that. But yeah, it was quite a bit, brother. And everybody support and bandito held their ground and told them, "Fuck you."